na ekigambiro ngechikorwa okonacha kurokuyana watabuna na machibu kurenda sengencho yobo turubani na bwego tutukani muri wabetabo koenekiwa kubatukana skeri agotena no wechikura raira nigateta buna tarenge gwanchirana na machibu ayege kogera na rengero kwegena buna nere urenge kobwa asekerwe kyo kyorai nero murayo mochore Dr. William Samuel Ruto omokonyo yarigathi Gachagua na baraibanda bare Moses Wetangula wekiama kia Ford Kenya Musalia Mudavadi wekiama kia ANC na boigo omo governor we county ya gosemu governor we county ya Bungoma Ken Lusaka negatia bande mbabete bagwikirana ase amasabo ase kanisa ya Christ the King Catholic Church yo kutoka imeye county ya Bungoma achinga kibono babete bagusangana babwatani be kanisa yo se ensemo ya masabo bakaba ukwanira mangana au anene asoba chori ase babete bagwakira bakenya ngambye mono ase okoenekia omorembe chingaki gose ekero bochori bonene bwayo gokorekana goikaboniga ekero baganyete amachibu kurwa sekigambiro elio gochia gotianiwa onye Ruto gagochia koene kororokana unanero weta sobochori obwo achi gotianiwa bene gochaga kurwa bokoreri chingaki echo Dr. Ruto nabetega kubaliera bamenyi be county ya Bungoma chira chyo koenekia una amaunchuriro nachi gokorekana ase ense ya Kenya elio koenekia una mwakonde bonsi abakenya baraba wesoke wakachikura buraburu chinde gose buturubani bonde bonsi tiboli goche kwenekiwa ase abetega gotena nigo bagocha kwenekia bunemero berio eisaine nebe kwekerengaki kwenekia obotoereru wabero bokwenekiwa imense ya Kenya chinga kichonsi chinga kiecho Ruto nabeta boigo gawe sokia na gutwara chingaki asabeteka gukwanera abamenyi be county ya Bungoma awase abariereteira yo kwenekia buna nachigwikirania magendero anena ali abetega kubaliera chira chinga kicho yakire koko asanene abariereteira yo gochia kumobeka omo osomora ibeke makia Ford Kenya Moses Wetangula buna omonogeri bwebunge chinga kibara chako bokoreri ase serikali enegati yabara ibali babete bago kwana boli tukoregoro ntwaroche ndoro chaba menyikurwa se county ya Mombasa anenene abantu kurwa sense ya Somalia bali bamenyete county ya Mombasa babete bagotayo na barabuti bali gochiwonchoreri ya birengereri byabo nigo bawuchikogendera kumusira murwanire bekiro kyo governor ase county yewe inse yobo mubwa Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Abdul Swamad Nasir Sharif askere batebete buna korengana nya chinga kibabeire bakubera na Abdul Swamad nigo barore buna na isaine kora county eyo ya Mombasa kona kubwatkana ne chingwana chile chabete osama mochali abete gakubekwa ase abarayikurwa se obumobwe Azimio la Umoja One Kenya ase watayona nigo batwarete chingwana no munyakiro ubiki umbeki IBC wafula chebukati chingaki chokobara machibu yobochole borene bwo mwako yega nigo umo gose nigo mu executive director uyobo igoro muri kemonene bwekama kia Jubilee Rafael Tuju abete ka weso kia bulitko igoro na wasio kia igoro ye chingwana echo ase abeteka goteba buna nigo aganchirana buna nigo babete bakumerana na umunyakero y'ubwa IBC asa magacha bomas imeyo mucho Nairobi na korengana nere kumirana kwabo nkubwatekana nechi gose nechi nkuma echo cha negative buna nigo chi form cha 34A chiabete chigotwara obututukanu yentokero kende bakagerte buna no boibi ubwarenge kweneki wakorwawo Rafael Tuju nabeteka goteba abuna umunyakero yo amona babusabande ba IBC babete bakumutalira ase enkayaye egenta tebete buna na tayare wasio kianonya nokorwa gose korwa evidence kubwatkana ne kumira na kwabo asambugane tumunyakiro bwe kyombe kya IBC wafula chebukati wesokia elio wasio kia alia na wasio kia ningi kirete bakamutalira senga yaye na mangana kialia babete bagukwana roro manchomulire rinyoro buna nigo agendrete ekerobono ekina kebekira sekegambero yo kwamereria amachibu yobochori obonene bwo mwako yo igasekero kyobura yobonene wense ekero twaro chubuna ba commissioner batato nigo babete bakubwatrana asokoralia machibu kumuraria Dr. William Samuel Ruto bno murayo machore kurenda ba commissioner bane bakora no mukonyi bwo monyakero go bwe kyombeke kya IBC chelela nigo babete na barabwo bakwerusananya na oteba buna okwerusia kwabongo bwatikana no gota gosino bwasio kuna boigo obweno botabete bokorokana ase okuraria amachibwayo ekera bakenya bagenda tukoganya bono ekinekyo gechoko nachwa nekigambiro mancho mulira na tairi tukolia lero abachori obonene nigo bogendrete ase county ya Kakamega na boige county ya Mombasa ase kirugo keria kyobo governor nyaramuna county ya Kakamega na boige county ya Mombasa abachori ngo bwabeta bogoteneniwa kubwatikana no botutukanu bwa masakara yo wakachukura obu bwabeta bokoenekiwa koirere kyombeke abachori nechimbebe IBC koraria buna abachori obokorekanero chitariki kyanda chomutyenyiga ogatano na gatatu twarare buna ase chinsemo au gatiabo West gose county ya Kakamega yebwate obose yebwate ebitobyo wakachukura ibire eribweye mochi misano nemo meronko 53 na ibere naboigo nigo abwabo ebwatabarwanirira batano na babere asekiru iki kyo governor eryogo kya koira libagari ya Wycliffe Paranya yobero mugavana buna county yo atorore asichinsemo gose asichinsemo chinyinge boniga abana inchikuru asensemeyo mbagendrete weso kya na wakachikura ekerobono aba bose bali abakoriya ebirogo by'obugavana babere gati yabo yo kuriye inse yabo mu Azimio la Umoja wa Kenya Fernandez Barasa abeire gawe sokya na gukwanira igoro y'obachori obugendrete ase chinsemecho asatairo na nyanya boni garodre yarokane na abamerere baye gati abamerere baye nigo barokanire bako rwachibesa bucyase abananchi abunenchireyemo yo kugania kubachora ase obachori obu mancho muri abantu aturanda ase county yo ya Kakamega eriyo toiwe nara ya umurwaniriro ibekero kyobo governor se county yo Fernandez Barasa abwate kubwatikana no bochori asensemeyo magayere wesokia na waka ekura yaye.
Wale wote ambao wajapiga kura wakuje kwa wingi ili mchague gavana wenyu mtarajiwa ambaye ni Fernandez Barasa. Mambo ya usalama iko salama, hatujakuwa na visa vyovyote hapa za usalama. Jambo tu ambalo tumeona kwa wingi sana ni mambo ya voter bribery. Mpinzani wangu ambao ni Cleophas Malala amekuwa akinunua wapiga kura wengi sana kwa vituo mbalimbali. Nimetembea hapa Matungu, almost all the polling stations. There's a lot of voter bribery, which in my considered opinion, hiyo ni an election offense. And I want to urge IBC and all the security agencies to make sure they take action so that watu wapige kura kwa haki na uhuru without intimidation.
That's a very serious allegation. Do you maybe have any evidence to that?
And if so, you have reported the authority?
We have already reported the authorities. Even here we had people who are dishing out money. We have evidence, so I've already reported the authorities. Issues around voter bribery because it's happening all over the place. In fact, when you move around, you'll actually witness the voter bribery is all rampant across the board. And that's why I'm asking IBC and all the security agencies to make sure that they actually prevent voter bribery. People should be allowed to exercise their democratic right by voting without coercion and intimidation.
Is this low voter turnout, is it related with the postponement of the election, maybe from 9th to today?
I think, in my opinion, the low voter turnout is typical of a by-election. This is more or less like a by-election. And usually when you have a by-election, we don't have a very large voter turnout. And that's why I'm taking this opportunity to urge all the supporters of my supporters to come up in large numbers so that they can actually vote and exercise their democratic right of electing or rather voting for their governor, who is Fernandez Barasa.
Initially, you had indicated that do you think today's exercise?
So far, I've only checked a few cases, not here, but in other polling stations, where Kimskis have failed. We've had around 4 cases in Holera Primary. We also had a case in Ngairwe Primary. Even here I'm told there is one stream that the Kimskis have failed. So what I've done is to contact the county returning officer so that we can have an alternative in terms of authorizing use of the manual register. That is something that will also affect voter turnout, because when people have come to vote and they are not given an opportunity because of a Kimskit failing, that definitely will affect voter turnout. So my request to IBC is to ensure that they address the issues around the Kimskit, because for me it is something that is going to affect voter turnout. And it is important when the KIM schemes have failed, they quickly authorize use of the manual register because it's an alternative that has been provided by the law.
Election is about winning and losing. If you lose, will you have to go back?
Of course, the election is about winning and losing, but I'm confident Kakamega people will elect me the second governor of Kakamega County. Yeah.
If you lose, will you have to go back?
Definitely, if it is fair, I will accept, but what I just want to urge my supporters, we are going for nothing other than a win today.
Oyubono no murwanire bekiro kyo governor se county ya Mombasa Fernandez Barasa ni kwa igure bna beire kago kwana otere bna amangana gusemero biro nigegendrete bya senseme yononya nobo usenonya na mangana makega berga kwene kiwane na se okoba kibesa abakikura agokorwa se abamereria egati abamereria baye baraza hoberega kubeka ekura yaye asauro kiro kwege na kwaye bna na chekobwa gusamenye be county ya Kakamega mbachiye ko mwakira chikura sobongere konyora obu ase kiroge kyo bugavana nawe kuri ase county ya Mombasa twarebuna abaga guse barwanire ao mbagendrete weso keri wakachikura ase nonya nabo oyo kabiri umugavana abo gose oyo rumugavana bwe county ya Mombasa asanjoho abeirega agwene kyabuna umubaro mukebwa abantu nigo bereko weso kya eriyo wakachikura asagendrete kuboria abamenyi be county ya Mombasa weso kya sobonge eriyo wakachikura nere umurwanire bwe kiroge kyo bugavana ase county eyo inse ya Azimio la Umoja wa Kenya Bulswa Madnasir nera bereka wesokia na waka ekura yaye ase buririe abananchi gusaba minyibenseme yo kwaka ekura na komochora yachikoreta amaunchuriro na baigo amagendero ase county yo ya Mombasa uno bachori bagendrete ase county ya Mombasa na baigo county ya Kakamega ase okubachora abagavana baigo obo bachori bagendrete ase Chibunkenye echo ase bachori babetubugotereni wagati abo ensemo ya Kacheliba ensemo ya Pokot South na baigo Ronkai yeyo kutoka mi county ya Nakuru na Kituiruro ekerebono abarai abo bakurwanire biroge byo bagendrete wesokia eriyo waka chikura na kwanya abananchi kubabwatsia ase eganga yabo mwancho muri na otebye ikiaeta twarura abagavana abachore mbaba bagutianirwa abo egati yabo bachakire kuri obokoreri gochiase abananchi na kurwase county ya Nyamira muri keito job monkey obereka usanga nabamenyi kurwase county ya Nyamira abo barure birengerero byabo kubwatikana nalia baganetie umugavana we county yo Amos Kimuminya ribogo cyo kubakorera kingaki atianiwe buna umugavana kabere we county ya Nyamira nyora Amos Kimuminya ribonigo nere obeira umugavana ntenera magayo kwa John Nyagarama uyorengo umugavana umutanganya se county ya Nyamira nabono asentunda nigo abetega ko chorobna umugavana ase county ya Nyamira agento abamenyi be county ya Nyamira basemberetie buna na chikoreta maunchorero na boigo amagendero igobono job manki korwase county ya Nyamira one konyuwete tomanya nkongere kieke gosebirengerero byambana inchi korwase county ya Nyamira akubwatikana n'uburayi bwaye Amos Kimuminya ribo mboro byowiga
mbiamono korwase studio nigo tonyora emo asemo korwase nsemo ya ibara egotoka kebirigo ase wodia Kiabonyoru ebunge ya West Mogirango asturati kusangana amenyi bense meye batote binga maega ya mugavana Amos Kimuminya libogotianigwa okogani kwabo nkoroki nandinki baraga ni abakorere buna anene mono ase amagendro karibu sana bono tikatochiko chaka no mugakoyomo karibu sana bwana ngolieza asamalitsa nkiokoroku na ende nkiora okogani kwabo chasa mugavana nyalimoni
rietalia nangoro ku Stephen Nyabuti na inde tuwele nimbi yamone senge njomo gavano kwa bishwa oko gani weito konene ntuomo janu tubwati Nyamira ni Nyagitari yetu ya Nyamira gerembe tubwati Nyagitari tubwati Mariogo omo gavana arigereri tangani kigere Nyagitari eyo nere gusabwa abantu ba Nyamira na inde gwetani Nyagitari kene kegera tokonye gendo kende atoro sari chipara chito ntubwati para asa inside yama constituency mene chigwodime Chisukuru cheito kwa chire chimbe akarogo etoro korigerwa kuminga abantu mbarabano na barimu baito bakumetie kiagera na umuntu agutumugie sukuru onyorete bwati nonye ne birasi biyo ebirororo bire no entrisa teyo barigereria na ndirende tigarigereria chipasa rigera bana baito mbakunyara gusoma onyemba bwati abana bange bakonyora bari chipara rio kariuka kira rituko igona botware kugania atorigererie Nyamire chibese national government gwetire chinyinge goja gutuma bate ba 35% batoretere batuchenjerie kwirende egente kenene arigererie nyagitari ya Nyamira nerera konya abantu ba Nyamira kiagera stoko ni nyagitari are tuchandikete bia mono.
Uyu no mumenyi oyo egati y'abamenyi bare asenseme bono ntigusanga no mumenyi onde ko rwa senseme naratebinga ebirengeri byambire bi atateba malita nkyo ko rukuna ende okogani kwago cha somo gavana nkoroki
njego kuchose matena okani kwa nengoringa kebirege yestomenyete nyagita teri ongiringia gotokonya mariogo abantu bari batakunyara bawikange igendo kende nande nkora kikogani mono abasaya baito batikirwe abare babati program ingiya iyongo sabo amanano ito amushayibo aroshi program cyo committee abasaya bake idinda boroke kibanza komenya na kwenya bito kibyabo na kuwa mono security nere rigirwe byamono.
Sasa oyo no mumenyi ondo gotebanga okogani kwa enkoringa abasaya barigererigwe naende asense moyo bochenu amangana begako ronge umumenyi onde kurwase karibu sana tutebe maleta nkyokoroko naende okogani kwa gocha somo gavana obete gako apishwa amoskimo minyali bonkoroki
asa marieta giripate nyakundi nyairo okogani goito nkoringa moskenya ligo obeira ase serikali yase miaka menge kurua barenge na marehemu Nyagarama ntumanyete nga natokorere gasi ngiya gitokumuburia agenderere gotokorere mirimo mono muna yo minta kwaneje chipara muna bone chipara bano mune chimetaro naboko nyoranga maji nabakominyoka yaso asikinyomba baigore metaro barosi chipara chingiya sabantu bagoeta neche nyagitari bamekiswa naro ng'amariogo naro korua ase nyagitari neito ya Nyamira ndubwati nyagitari chinde chia level 4 level 5 na kiro chitoke ng'anchibwate amariogo n'abanyagitari baisaine nensesemo yechisemi naro bairigereri bia mono kabisa munabona abana baito mbaroro barenga aroro barimu baterene tugwe mirimo na barabwaro rengerako bakonya baire nimirimo bagendera gokonya chifamily chiabo elinde togendere kuna kubwatira na gobutambe nara ina bwatamake
bia mono oyo no mumenyi egati ya menyi bare senseme oyo tebirenga okogani kwa yenkoringa omugavana Amos Nyalibo abega kurigere chisemi chipara na manganane bono tiganchi kusanga na menyi bande ko rwa senseme oyo gotutebinga okogani kwabo ase sector yendemero bose sector yobolemi nkoroki karibu sana
Marieta na James Nyabuti nanje no mumenyi okebirigaiga Kenya liwa algo tokonya kabisa atorero obolemi ensemo yechae aligereri kabisa ensemo yechae naenda aligereri asa abana masomo jipasali ateme korora abana mba baze koseri guru school ekina kindoje kiamana pia ensemo yana biamono
mbia mono uyu no mumenyi onde yote birengare okogani kwa enkoringa omo governor Amos Nyalibo abega kurigireri obolemi anene mono obolemi bwechae timatinga ne mumenyi onde dale karibu sana toteya malieta ng'akiukorokwa naende norosi Nyamira ng'a ntobwato obolemi bonde buna bwa avocado bwe mesi okogani kwa onkoroki cha somo governor rene ntotake tutwarchi industry bosenga kioro chera chikoba
pia mono aseng'enjeri baga samarieta ntomasio biria nanche na rekomenta ng'a omosike Nyalibo pia mono aseng'enjeri kwa bise tuigoro na inde bono tutagitotokorere mirimo mono buna Nyamira yaito ntobwata oboremi obonge ntobwata amatoke ntobwate chi avocado nebintu ebinge bakemesie enyendi yare konyarekana na intwe Nyamira yaito tonyore factory yemo noene yekorosia erakonyo mwananchi aseng'encho yo munabona matoke tosimegete na mange ayanda gokobgochia chi county chinde agenda gosegworro nande twiranirigwa ebintu binde egento kende na rekomenta ase Nyamira yaito munabono asomochioke birigo iyoro mosunte abantu gochakera saa moja basiekire security rights tichiyo egento kende noene chi stage nchiyo ase chigari chigopakirigwa chipari chikobanchera igoro noe nabang'ina bari bakonie ebinto abande barenchera igoro chigari barabasa konyora noe nachari igo nare goteba omosike nyaribo babwaterane na aba MCA bachoretwe babange Nyamira yaito nere rorekane buna chikaunti chinde mbia mono ase eng'encho ya Ribaga.
Karibu sana kana.
Egento neba naende Nyamira ne bata mama manene ayabandi ko gachi university abana baito basomera ngega university. Egento kende ndobwate gabe correction kichiro bochabo boro bonge obochabo boria boro bonge twakanyo factory ko process bobo boyo nabyanko buya igo Kenya riba exploit possibility yoko uzasia ajabu yeye chiro erinde erosio buyo nakubwa mono that's university say time tubate university yetu into
Momenyo nde naro tikarite karibu sana. Sawa sawa. Onde yore kukwa ni robo kurumi corruption. Totebia sama leta nkiokoro kwa naendenga noma okay igendo kia berige kwirinia magendero imense ityo ya Kenya nobo kurumi na kiotate umugavana nyaribati go deal nobo kurumi yo
bia mono obo kurumi mono na bugwa iranirie account ya itomagega umuntu akobekwa obisi ekera so iro obisi ya irwe meremo kiteka chinke go kwanyora ogurira maremo wagachire chinyomba echindo ogurire no ne chigari etware go chakorora buya omosike nyaribo ase mereme arakore menene neyo gosirio bokurumi obokurumi obonene bochakerete korwa ase county mei maria gwamana gosoka bakaisiko kwaretire Nyamira yaito yairanire maega askimagenderero igo tware gotebio mwesike nyaribo noyo minto gesami babwaterane noene chitenda chikoruegu Nyamira echikoruegu aba MCA bari bachorwa nainde banabu bakoena nande nabu bakwea chitenda igo yo minto omosike nyaribo no yo minto gesami ekero chitenda chikoruegwa igereri ng'a muntu kioegwa abantu mbarega common mwananchi oyo moke utakire nera akonyeke nainde gasike gokoru no ene chipara chikorosigwa echiaruegwa soka n'abantu bao barigereri ng'e pare mekene twarwa njarosigwa ebakorosi chipara korubosio na korumaega gatima abasiara gachanga gasinini ebiasara biaera obokurumio bubwagera abananchi ba Nyamira bachandika igo yo minto nyaribo no yo minto gesami moteme chuchini mororeng'ana kyobokurumi bwa Nyamira burasire korume bakaisiko ga mwananchi common mwananchi arore amatokeo baada ya miaka 5 na inde torore tokomente miaka 5 o tokorere mirimo biamono
ukuna kuko gani kwa bamenyi be county ya Nyamira nene mono sensemo ya Kibirigo aseba bere bagukwanira amangana alibaganitie umugavana omochore umugavana obetega gotianigwa amoskimo minyaribo abe gako bakorera asentunde yoborai nyuranga umugavana nyaribo nero oirete Ribaga ryo kabeire umugavana umutangani nyagosira amoski nyagosira John Nyagarama na inde bono igabone igarabe igagenderete igepindi kiaye kikonyora abere gagochaka ase akonyora akorera bumenyi be county Nyamira ange umwakoyomo emerimo bono ogusaba gwaito nkoringa umugavana oyobete gagochorwa abe gago digireria mangana yonsi abamenyi benseme babere bagoteba elinde tobeto gokinia ekerengo gie county ito ya Nyamira county emerongo enena isano nemo korwa senseme ya Kibirigo kinko reporteria Ndizi TV erietaliane Job Maangi bono tigangina ni Ribaga ligo chese studio
mia mono muriketo Job Manki ase ogusangana bamenyi be county ya Nyamira manchu murigero na kwaigura na bamenyi be county ya Nyamira anene chinsemo chia Kibirigo yo utoka sebunge ya West Mugrango babere bagukwanera amagani yabo ari anene baganetie umugavana we county ya Nyamira amuskimwo minyaribo achiye kubaikeraneria ekerobono abe ara chake guse abo chaka bene obokoreri bwaye ase county ya Nyamira ntwaroche omokonyi bo mugavana ase county ya Kisii Ndizi Dr. Robert Monda na abete guchaka obokoreri bwaye bene awaseritkore igoro abete kagotarira echiro ya keumbu erio gokora obochenu asensebeyo asabete gakwenekera bamenyi be county ya Kisii buna nachie mbachio gotarira chichiro chionsi me county ya Kisii kwenekia buna obochenu bwarokanire na mono kuboria abaunchoreria kwebeka obochenu chingaki chionsi asemono abete gakuruge kuro gochiase baria batachi goikerania emeremo yabo anene abakoreri ase serikali ya county ya Kisii na watabuno ndebwensi otachi goikerania emeremo yayo bwenete nigo arachie kubutwa emeremo na baria baganite gokora emeremo kwa waribaga yogochia kurwa obokoreri gobono mwancho murigereria nekero abakenya bonsi bagenderete gutwara gosemeria na barayibaria basoira abisimba chigoikerania chira chire babete bakubariera chokoreta amagenero asti county chonse emeronko enena isana ibere ime yense ya Kenya mwancho murigereria nigo genderete gutobwate asomorobere we Eriso Riaito goikeraga gatikana enda sumutumukomokeigo kingoirana ningirane no mugeni ase studio gaiga awasetura chigokwanera asoboime amangana asiasa mense ya Kenya nechinga kiechiga obochori bagenderete gokorekana ase county ya Kakamega county ya Mombasa na boigo ase chibunkenye awasobochori bwabete bogoteneniwa kubwatikana nobotutukanu bwa masakara yo wakachikura gona gendera gotobwate sensemere ya Facebook Ndizi TV News Digital asensemo ya YouTube tonyorwetera Ndizi TV News boigo na bogotwichwetera @Ndizi TV News wasase website yaito tonyorwetera www.ndizitv.or.ke eryo togendere gusangama naya mange gono mancho murigerere to basabosukare nkwira nanda seka gitari gitambe
aya antivirus inge kabono kare ko somo bono ya niga seti kare ko soma ya so online ga burgerie bintu swabo sa Ndizi TV le bintu biro Ndizi TV ya ngo mungainore tari Ndizi TV Ndizi TV News sacha Ndizi TV News ya wono digeri bona bintu akai nondo chomurubira kabisa gwichinjaro na papa antivirus bintu nobira Ndizi TV News ke jago na so Facebook yabango Ndizi TV News na YouTube yabo Ndizi TV News ke ayenayo mokora ayena gwatebie kenaye omwanjo ndigeti kurwabo kana to gonsoja soa asakoro kwa Ndizi TV News e Facebook YouTube yaito Ndizi TV News omakonyora chi program chinyinge una mangana yoboremi akoleto na Mildred chikosoria chikoleto na ndemo papa tebera chokoleto chingero amona mangana mange igano obwanzubule bwo mugusi Ndizi TV akiro meto bwanzuborobi ai yakiwata basi Ndizi TV News aya
soa asumutandao insemo ya YouTube urikirieta Ndizi TV News abono konyora chibicha siabaria baito bimerubrio ao boigo tonyore as Facebook buna Ndizi TV News aigano Ndizi TV News obwansu bwomugusi Kiremambia jama tuko wiki guchakire Jumatatu goika Ijuma Ndizi TV obwansu bwomugusi.
mwanchi umurigere ribonekero gendrete kubwati umurubiri gwe Eriso Riaito umurubiri ko gukira kira ritkoria Jumatatu wika ritkoria Ijumaa ekero bono tugukwanira amangana ao ayo agendrete gukorekana ime yense ya Kenya na ritkoria rero ekero ritkoria Jumatatu tariki 29 nigo tugukwanira igoro ya siasa ime yense ya Kenya ekero bono umutinyo igoro kandi umutinyo siasa maga yense ya Kenya wakorogo chori bwo bonene tariki kianda cy'umutinyo yega abarayi egati abarayi bari babete bagochorwa nena sekero kyo gavana babere bagutianwa erigo cyakuro bokoreri ase abananchi neri tkoboigo obochori bogendreta se county area Kakamega na boigo county ya Mombasa ase obochori mwancho murigera nechinga kiboiga ba Kenya bagendrete kuganya amachibu kurwase ekegambiro kubatikana nekine cyabetege kuikiwa yo kwamereria amachibu ya obochori ase kirgo kyobora yobonene bwese magaye kimbeke IBC komoraria gose komoraria Dr. William Samuel Ruto una omurai omochoro gatano ime yense ya Kenya nechinga kitingia bono na ndemna nagoteye nimbwato mugeni ritkoria rera se studio gaiga oyo toracho kwanira mange asobo ime igore amangana asiasa na kisiasa yaberege okorekana asumwa kujege imense ya Kenya na ninki aba Kenya basemerete ase amatukari bosyo anena se myaka 5 bosyo ekerabano na ndoracho goswa ase obochoro bonde ibona ndete ko mwariga ni mugeni weritkoria rero emanyekani erioto chake gukwanira amangana ge siasa ekerabano ntebe gukunyoria mwana bakogandira gutobati ase website yetu wetra www.ndizitv.or.ke asensemo ya Facebook tonyore wetra Ndizi TV News Digital amayigo ensemere ya YouTube tonyore wetra Ndizi TV News osena bogo tweet wetra @Ndizi TV News erio togendere gusangana ya mange karibu sana mugeni
biyamano biyamana asali baga ande biyamana soko ngori kanya somugano umurobere
karibu sana nabogote yumwanchi umurigereria eningo na inde ngayogotoka
omwanjo motagerari asa Marieta Julius Nyamweya Meshak Jengo toka Kisi University as a part-time lecturer in the Department of Accounting and Finance. No menya tabosongo gaiga ase ekakia bana. Naende no mwana biashara nde ase umucho bosongo.
Karibu sana ase studio yetu iritukuria rero. Twarero mutinyo yo imense ya Kenya obero mutinyi bwa mangana siasa sana. Ngo siasa cia korwa bachore bane bwa beto bokorwa chitariki kianda abakenya bagesokia bagachora barai no nyaya renke buna omwako yoiga amubaro moke bwa bantu ke imano bete ko wesokia wakachikura timaiti abanengi bataesokere ko bachora barai babo ninki ora tukwanere ake gusea so wimake kubwatikana bunaye obwato bumanyi bwa siasa buna kwarore siasa cy'umwako yoiga ekere kurenganwa na siasa cy'imyaka ende yaitire kurumagega
Kemana kegima siasa yo mwako yo nere different korenga ne myake kurumaiga. Osikoregereria kero twanya ariko batoko nyoro change kabisa as siasa ya Kenya. It was in the year 2002 ekero to awarded coalition. Then 2007 there was a difference but ntwanya walto mochando asingenje problem ya wetenga ki use post election violence. From there bantombanya ko settled because of this violence that occurred. So coming to the year 2017 we tuarojenga omorembe no renge chikuranji yage tuya unexpected una bantu barengera thinga maybe violence ngotokere iyo tanyara ko bagego okora kegotokea. Now come 2022 it was a transition year from one government to another because it was a change of guard. There was a into a president go retire na incoming president which was Jomoya. That is a transition. Again, they can give a heated debate between the two presidential candidates, the major ones. That is Raila Odinga and William Ruto. So people had very high expectations and on a new change. And then by expected, maybe there could be violence all over the country. So this led actually to the state of the people not coming out of vote. One of them that fear, maybe if I move from one place to another to vote, these happenings may follow me. So another thing is the cost of living. Maybe Montogabe water kurabusiga here. Nairobi amenyete. If there's a problem Monto Jakuru, Nairobi, Aikigusia Jawake Kurananda correct. Because of the cost of living. So ekerekia nyarto ko changia abanta bange mbake kura. Again to yakavere. Abantu bande mba maetenga for example umrengo rion dende na vera shwadinga abango koraki koira bari chikura nyana abantu baraira they were assured in a system ngaraira ngorariki koira bari chikura so they relaxed waiting nga njeni mbera nyomba ni maidera irokoreke ogambire two abantu baruto ruto gaba ebedi mwana mwake kura mogore mwirana na baro bakabashwa ngaki ruto tatebiri ogambire so they relaxed. It's another factor they have affected the outcome of this or the majority of the people not voting aso chikura chomwako 2022. Yeah.
Anontali none gwatayira mangana au ichumbi gose uko bari barenge chinsemo chiare gosoka ngonyare kanere buna abantu bange gaiga umuntu nabara asige tuokeria wakira chikurabu lakini teso geti wake kura. Oroche nakio gotaisoke uko abantu ngo chigo ko affect yo Kenya sama tukare bosiro.
Again tutamanye tu abana inchi ekero totake kura igondora chora bora iborobia nekero twatiga abantu bandi batochorera barai ibe twatiga tochore maisha mbaya asengenjo ntwechore ti murai rio koreteki boromia abantu bandi bagwichanikana ki ni nchoro murai nintachora taligo jakoraki onkoja personally inero ignorance tobwate bunantu abakichukura use bunantu abana inchi so wade banga umuntu ni machora gago chukava maybe under parliament and Nairobi as after 5 years if it is in the county assembly no matter como MCA maybe no yo nyamira bunetara kina buneta oni iteta kine tubuna bange mameti ombosongo pamete umuntu ende nyene county assembly nyamira omenya bosongo tuliko moraja okoraki okora magenda so abantu barusi leo buna ndoli in touch with our politicians one about the orioko chornero okoraki nero this also leads to a low turnout voters so nebwato munjano monege kogera tutachorete abarai bari barabaya ngochore turabarai bari barababe negero togochorerwa babe tutapata maishamba ya so intubuna ba Kenya we as voters to when ko educated because before the polls into better talk about educated about the reasons as why we must vote but bandu bange ntubwa tigendo kerima nane ingegero rero soki ojuwake kura ne kura ya unebwate ngenjo so for education maybe probably jajete mpaka to the villages ekera kiromondo maybe ogo puzangoro so ntuna bande to bene ko manyanga ekura ya itone ya maana because nererare ta magendroka erare ta magendranga na asitore una county chacha yes
ambia mwana twarore chinga kinyinge na matko twabere to gochora bara ibna intwa ba Kenya kurende aba Kenya to konyora aba Kenya bachorire gusaba na inchi bachorire umurai after some time kwanyora nino bako babatangani gwe murungani na murayo tariko bakorera magendero naki umurayo yo ora manyabuna wino umurayo muyage ko garekero bagokora campaign cyabo konyora ure bakuria chira chinyinge lakini abarayi abande yaroka ne bunekero basoira bisi asama tukamatangani nabo bakurwa bukoreri obuya lakini yekero kugendera gochigo sama tukogo chibosiga tatebo morayi ngoswara semyaka 5 bisi asemyaka umwako mutangani go semyaka 2 metangani na bagokorera umwana inchi emeremo lakini yekera atikire myaka 3 gochimaega kwanyora tari koiweka na tari andons bona kimo mwana inchi akora amanya buno no murayo mya gusomura yo muya oriye buna gwatairo murayo muya noro yoyo ika
intubuna ba kichukura so intubuna bana inche ntobwenele we evaluate abarai abaiga ntobwenele ko bareta bonds to buy currency forum we need to form forums egere tubalingere dinaki oyo igobera wakotokorera gusene myaka 5 gas nki akorire promises chiri aruete ochikiranire azina maybe as another current maybe the sitting MCA the sitting governor or the sitting president. Toizo komuriga ya semia ke 5 na aruete promises to project injira beget on the ground abwenero accomplish to wenero koligere at the end of the 5 years the project dijina chi accomplish it okay na ya chi kiri to promise ya aruete oikiri even 50% asata kero chikora if not that is one way of evaluating yabanda watumanyana ki these politicians now this politician is not treated kokoragasi number 2 omuntu yigana bwenero wikanga abantu ocho consult naito obabolinga inki mutakere gokora aria samagania na korete twakoreba onya tali go on the ground onyo irete chukura obolire you should actually do away with the omuntu buno yo kinga ne ri chukura na ditoko barra batosera bairana so this is the time one muna chukura chaire what we expect yakara ba very soon into office to buy meeting tatu they come back but to bargera naki ngibata kero kora nek ngai ba chakire after 2 years to 3 years we assess to manyango morayo yiga igasi yakore ngayanye ikiri onyo cheta kabora then automatically as a voter omuntu yiwene kurusi wase mind ya itoguna to bakichiku chikura so that in the next round we come in with somebody who is competent so ntubwene kurigeria ebikorobya ekorumaega na current ekiandreta gukora na ende the promises of the witmo
yes era nyarikana bona baraya baguna watereto nyeturigereria ebikoro byabo na bagukora enyarikana buna banke babo bachire ngoro kibara ebikora babikachinga kiba baikagati batiga batari gukora nabo toko murusi gusaba mu mwaki kura na bakurusi murayo yase ase usasiri bagariro chikumwakire kura nda sentunda yende achoro murayo mwayekero bo chori nende bugo chikokorekana abaraya baragendera gukora igatoro chibuna abakenya mbachikoikera ase batari wakachikura.
Yes, to understanding and like for example in our counties, into what county assemblies, in our national assembly, even in the Senate. Like our governors, mostly on the ground because devolution in Jaja. So if it is a governor, promise we need to take a motion. You cannot totally enlightened. We can move a motion as an individual on your county assembly, or you can even recall your MP. For example, if it is a current MP for Kisi or for Nyarivari Church, we can collect signatures, we forward them, I have recalled. Then we re-elect, we do a by-election. It is there. They must do the 5 years chair. Only in Tuna Wanainji, now to take action in the constitution, we call him back, then a by-election can be held, we choose somebody else. Yes.
Kero tonga ndato kwanira yo to ntorocha se kirugo keria kyobora yo banene ntwaro de kiya korekana magega ya IBC komuraria Dr. William Ruto uranero murayo mochore kurinde aba mereria baye abari kurwa somo bwazimyo mba igetase kigambiro bakabeke kina ekyaba Kenya baganyereire wika kitariki isano cyumutinyo gocha elio banachibi na babe bakuru ko na chakwabo buri turigana ntwaroche omo executive director ase omo bwa azimio Rafael Tuju nabeteka wesokia na kwanera igoro yoko umera na kwaye na mbanya guseba commissioner kurase kyumbeke IBC mangana na abirika gukwaneka mono abate kero wafula chebukati abakagota una egati aba bwatani ba azimio mba beto bakumira na nere gusego kwana nere bakugania kumu bakore barete guseba onchore chikura chiri elio bamubekero muraibe amakya odi muraila odinga konyora obugwi ngagete ngwategerete ngwe wita ayila Rafael Tuju abeteka gukwanera igoro yo kumira na kwaye nere na wafula chebukati ningiora kwanira igoro ya nganeyo.
Yes, that's what is in the public domain because already na rangre press conference as a response according to the commissioners and the affidavit filed in the Supreme Court.
Yes.
So you see, in the first place, Wafula Chebukati is the commissioner and Abdiguye, Professor Abdiguye. Abu most river mentioned the Director General of Azimio, or the former Ariad MP, Rafael Tuju. He was responding to the affidavit filed in the Supreme Court, whereby Rafael Tuju, among others, even the Inspector General, Kokoreta Trubani se bomas, that is say bomas as a matangas aliakoreta atakero ko bagakubeku. So he was just responding. Like any problem he could not only respond to the public without actually giving an affidavit. Again, that when he must give a response to the Supreme Court, where he must show in an affidavit in response to the affidavit that it was actually sworn in by who? By these commissioners. So, for him, he was trying to defend himself, I can say. Because he did not come out clear to point out because at one point but he didn't disclose yes, yes. But then yes, because commissionage at 3 a.m. Budget service. The aim was to actually order the results. in favor of the Azimio leader. That is what is actually, it has been said, no more na Wafula Chebukati, the commissioner chair 3. And apart from that, also, in back Q3, if the results were not in favor of Raila Odinga, then they were forcing for a rerun. Now they were to do an affidavit in response of that. Request Supreme Court na yaro we defend. Unless he does that, he was just doing a response in a vacuum, which does not actually affect any law. Yes, an argument in law. Yes.
Akubat kanige tamkire kia Rafael Tujingi ukagetekera chikoba egatia na ba commissioner babeke ombeke IBC bakora ono munyakiroko. Obviously
there is animosity there. There is a division. We are even from the Supreme Court, from Bomas, from the commissioners of IBC. There is a division. We have the 4 commissioners led by Cherera, and the other commissioners led by Chebukati. Ekeke godorokinga abanda there is infighting by one. Even the result the juro around to my thing njiri jekema because Wafula Chebukati gagote Ruto is the president elect. Cherera Tebanga there was manipulation in results. Therefore there is bad blood between this the division between the commissioners, and also there is a corrigation same ya Rafael Tuju Nage commissionage. There is bad blood. Because Vandabaiga, they are not reading from the same script. So Rafael Tuju, Agodebek, Nababadebek, Eke Nkotore Kakere in a very bad picture because one on the road Komanyanga Gotebeke mine, Wafula Chebukati, Cherera Nage commissioner chair, Rafael Tuju as a director general Azimio. Who is who? Now we are in a very bad state, unless and otherwise. The only people Baravisokotokonya is the Supreme Court. So our eyes should be focused on the Supreme Court. We as Kenyans, to wenere tiga abantu na siasa avons umlengo wazimio umlengo Kenya kwanza to yotike kando. Then our eyes should be focused to rina ki a verdict the Supreme Court yekoru na to wenere kolira.
Aigo kungsana no koende to kwene kiwiga tiabara ya baigana ba commission oro chengo chie wa affect yake gambiro ya Supreme aso ko chiko me ko na cheki ne ke igakibekiro.
It may or it may not. Because what we expect the wenere ko tegara mono and what we should expect, the courts should be not intimidated. And to be free from any biasness. We have a constitution, we have our laws, a Supreme Court, the way evidence here. First of all, was there an election conducted according to the constitution, according to the laws of Kenya? Yes or no? Number 2, were the elections conducted on a free and fair manner? Were they free? Number 3, as the court, which is free from biasness, were the votes counted accordingly? Did the right person elected? That is it. So they should be able to tally the votes and make sure to ask themselves were the votes tallied correctly. The Supreme Court when corrected. Then did the IBC itself, the chairman and the commissioners, did they follow the law? Announce the presidential elect. So even before they give the verdict. Yes. In Kenya, we common mwananchi, we expect tonyore amachivu aramaronge ariarare to moremba sensio ita Kenya. And what we expect from them, the ABC omura or president elect. We expect either that, 2, if there is a recount, bakore batatebe machivu, 3, bakonyoro njakore tuya, then we go for a rerun or for a runoff. So we expect to a verdict area to Ranyargo Bato Wanjana 20, Egret to Aramara. Yes.
Ranganayo Kagirte Ava Raikuruase Obomowa Kenya Kwanza Bakorawana Dr. William Samueruto to after Ereko Koba Koradi Wabunumura Yomochore. Isekonya Kanabuna Obo Ibigo Se Kanumba Betoboko and Nekiwaso Waka so we say Chukure Chiga. Ava Raya Bakuraso Kenya Kwanza Machuan Chiranoko Namachiwa.
Onya watagarate president-elect yesterday, ekrari ngichisemo cha Western, narueta an assurance to Kenyans, barabu mbanjirane na matokeo ya Supreme Court. And that is what we expect. So, asege njonatu eta assurance. Lakini ekorwa sekema, ekemaina. Ekina kiyo kadebete. So, whatever the outcome, erenate ebete mbanjirana. And that is what we expect. So, inaintu na Kenya, tuanjirane kiri for the Supreme Court iradebe. Nabara iwa Kenya kwanza. Tigatoba za wenga ki, ama kiri Supreme Court irakwane. Kindly let us for that. Because, onye mba wanjirana, we will plunge our country into chaos. But I believe and I trust that according to the president-elect, his own words, he will accept the outcome of the Supreme Court. Yes. Yes.
Yemono. Mwancho murgerere bano buno gendete ko iwa ina mangana to gukwanira iguru ya siasa cyabere cyo koreka na imese ya Kenya korwa obachore bonene we kitariki kianda cy'umutenye yuga ugatara na gatatu ikiraga igabano tigatura nda sumutimo komoke igoto ko irana ndogendere gusanga na ya manke to basa guskare.
Ndizi TV ubwansu bw'umugusi. Ndizi TV ubwansu bw'umugusi nigo bono yakira nikirundekerene nego kurentera chibiche chinkia na boigo chinkeno nukukigima na bogo tonyora asorogon korbogusi niji county chito etanaine buna county ya Kisii, Nyamira, Homa Bay, Bomet, Kisumu, Migori nichi semo chinde chinyinge nigo kotonyora aside koda ya Star Times channel 195 Go TV channel 824 na free to air decoders digital TV na smart TVs. Scania TV yao na boigo onchore ilio yao igo ikoye nyore. Ndizi TV nigo turine kirenga ikigo korentera emerubuli emerunge chinka kichonsi. Ndizi TV obwensu uomugusi. Osmo Traders Limited neduka ye hardware iyuri miyumu chukisi eko nibintu au vyobwagachi asamagurinse mono nigo bobwate chi computer chikobrukane chirange negwikere chiriuraganie boigo mbabwate sanitary wares echuchire chibakuli chichicho chisink nebindebinge mbabwate bintu byogutumika gukora plumbing gusekobeke mefreji ya mache buna chipipe na boigo ni chitap mbabwate chichibot buna chiria cha chipsam na boigo MDF boigo mbabwate chitiles chiria chikwarwanse ase nyomba na chiria cha granite marbles batarire asiduka yabo yera se nyomba ya old Sansora building angenegete siniekenene gechigari imeyumu chukisi gusoba kirisimi ase namba enoti sano na ibere eyemukianda inyeisano enoti nye inyeisano nemo Osmo Traders Limited. Customer satisfaction guaranteed. Ebundiengia ni yekorekana ritukolitanganie agoikase mirimo yao ne mashini yari kutumia gosobosera bwe mirimo yao nigo bokororekana magega yo gutumia kimashini chingia echo chigotoka aseduka ya Gusi Star Shop imeyo muchukisi nigo bakonya kimashini buna meter saw machines cut off saw machine chi blow dry chi blender chi hoover chi car washing machines impact drill circular saw machine eruta machine chi battery chi machine chogosonera chianga welding machines chi grinder chi power saw wood working machines chi chef cutter chi tinga air compressors submersive pumps chi water pumps chi generator chi solar panel chi engines chi electronic hood and plane nechinde chinyinge batarire aseduka yabo iri asebara ya Kisii Kisumu highway imeyumu chukisi asamagacho Agusi Plaza ground floor room number 6 na boigo mbabwate duka yende angenebingia Family Bank imeyumu chukisi bakiresimi ase namba enoti isano na ibere noti isano na isano na isato ibere marakane gose enoti isano na kianda isano nemo inye isano na isano na isato isano isato Gusi Star Shop Kisii for durable and long-lasting industrial tools. Ndizi TV, Ubwansu, Bwomogusi.
mwancho muri ribona kirogendera gutobwatia erio gukwanira amangana siasa imeyense ya Kenya ko kwarigana nitogendere gukwanira kerongo kwinyura bayigona bakondera gutobwatia seseme ya Facebook Ndizi TV News Digital na bayigo YouTube tobwati wetera Ndizi TV News erio togendere gusanga mange karibu sana na ndomo gene.
Thank you.
Twabere to gukwanira mange bono na aba kemira no kendete kwene kiwa ase kubwatkana niki na kirikibekira soko ase kegambero yo kwamiriria machibu ase kirugo kyobora yobonene bwense akorengana gosebu nabono mu Kenya sare bono twarura barayi babiri bagochorwa bwa gatia bagabana babiri bagutiani wabachakire ko rubo bokoreri naki ise kunyarikana buna ekina gose ekigambiro kyabere kona cha buna obochori obobe bokoirorerwa yo matene merobere ndeyo kwariga na indoko chori bochikorekana ase chinsemo oroche na kitego chi affect mu Kenya century ya muguseyende
kineke maana Osikuligerali siasa ya Kenya asitwa ikere siasa itokonyo irabuna live and death keregente ke gotenena ekero yekirenga kiyoba chori toise wikiranga bono ntubwate okoirorera weche kureje maybe a Supreme Court yatugudeterare obachori bwaerete ene twale chi implication chinyinge o chasi tole unaba Kenya. One, the cost factor yoko irorera chikureje ne to affect toize korigera likormaega ekra to awate oko irorera which in the year 2017 the commission inja tumegete chibesi nyinge sana ko irorera chikureje ne chibesi jigane taxpayer ne common mwananchi already Chepkati himself otebrena according to him nature as Nigeria to next checker chogo chikura is short of tabu atwesi chisaine echara chikura chogo president so for him is praying for the Supreme Court to uphold the election of Dr. William Ruto as the president elect. On the other hand, as Azimio na Barabu, they are praying and they requesting that the Murayobo or Yore Raira atangasu and Nero Koradeki. Nero Wete. So, there is a situation now, another factor, another effect to Tuara is the calendar for schools. There is a already Abanawaito, Masomabo are very disturbed. From the time to Atuara the corona, to Ajirenga Kie Chikura, to Chikura Chikachera Wake. Waziri Wejesemi, Professor Magoa, and I postpone. Havana Waitone Skurbare. We are yet to know see the calendar education system that is from tertiary, maybe from lower classes, even to university affected. Is an educationist, and if you look it from the perspective of politics, politics ya Kenya will affect during campaigns. Abanango babare affected. Ekarato chuwa kichukura. Abana chuskura as much as obviously. Yes, na jigo to make abari mu abange na bago to make work kichukura like POs, deputy POs, and even clerks. So obviously, it must affect the education system. Number 3, in tuna wananchi, economy it lag behind.
Yes.
Obviously, because of election, and to my daughter make electioneering period here, ebinte binge bigotena because of uncertainty ingikego chikova mutu okonyora abantu abange badatindi kuraira nali asenale gokora okorerega so let me stay at home nganya matoke omuntoke so in terms of our economy go chitole lag behind because of production. Yes.
To isukurigererio bachori obogendere to koreka na ritkoria rero anena se county area Kakamega county ya Mombasa na bego chibungenye twarore na abagabana bande korwa chi county chinde meronkene na isano babe imbabete bagutianirwa awasaba ndoredi bacha kirobokoreri ana kiroche county ya Kakamega na bege county ya Mombasa nchibe affected in terms of yamagendero yekogera bara yabande batanganire gutianirwa barabo red bacha kirobokoreri asaba na inchi ana kiroche neche ko ba nebe chi county chibe affected in terms ya magendero.
Thank you. Before that answer question here, the angry bageri ko irane ria bakenya ngambi ya mono asewing injobato skiri in terms of democracy and in terms of gender as to elect 7 elected women governors in Kenya. We have moved as a country compared from the previous years. Number 2, coming to your question, also, the governors that have already been sworn in, they have started working. Yes. Let us take, for example, in Kisi County, our deputy governor, Nwarenge Keumbu, already is the Ojire ground. Our governor, Nwarenge Nyakitari, and Retaku inspect. So, obviously, these other 2 counties, that is Kakamega, where by the elections were postponed in Mombasa, and the 4 parliamentary elections, they will lag behind because it will take time. By the time Tukore Chukura Chivaru were sworn into office, already the 100 days in office, these others could have moved a step ahead, but not as much as that. Yes.
To isukurigereria ke okiumbikirigitendete mangana yerichi ko mensi ya Kenya Law Society of Kenya ke abete kuboria abarai bali bagochego swabisi gose bali basoira bisi kwene ke bunanko bwatya bare buikiranu lichi ko rense ya Kenya ukuno goteba buna barai ababere bakora ense ya Kenya kurwa amatuka magambanya kubwatirichi mbali kubwatirichi ko ya Kenya.
The Law Society of Kenya headed by their president Mbarwete Evirangari biabo. Na inde isukuru kurumaiga even the previous president, that is Nelson Havi, na barumba the babere bagostizanga abara ibade bonsi peba chorirwa ikaransi biro babu atirichi koliro obisi lakini tuarre ange kraba kera abara ibaito basoiro obisi mbali ko bwatichi ko there are court orders chikorwebo bara ibaito mbali ko bwati starting from the president down to the MCS. This is a very bad picture. So the Law Society of Kenya is one of the arms of government, part of those 4 arms of government, is one of the key pillars. Previous governments, that is county government and even national government, maybe a court order, but so that is why the Law Society of Kenya kindly a country governed by laws and regulations. We cannot say entirely but let them follow the law to the letter. That is why the Law Society of Kenya our leaders the law. That's why it is reminding them. Refer to the constitution, that is the 2010 constitution to govern, and the current laws of the land, so that we deliver to the people, we as the elected leaders. That is their plea. It is not that not to the letter. Yeah.
Anga yora tebo mukenya re gwikira boni gakoru umwaka which bibere na 10 korwa chinga kiri chikorensi ya Kenya ya beteri wetigwa gwikaboni gekero ensi ya Kenya bete ge guchengere myaka 12 yeri chiko.
The 2010 constitution actually are change na sense to ya Kenya. Pese ko kombe miaka ya mai onye wagete kura ya 2007 and maybe 2002 nekro wagete kura ya 2013 there is a freedom of speech and expression. Yes. Also another thing ekero korigere maega na inde 2007 mtu abwa the Supreme Court. Lakini from the 2010 constitution we have the Supreme Court. So naboko ari kubuwa kura maega asitayo kubori. You come to the streets, you demonstrate, you go back, and life continues. Like in the year 2007 we had a problem because we didn't have a court president. So with the current constitution, that is the 2010 constitution, if any court is dissatisfied with any election, if you are not satisfied, the best option is to go to the courts, then they arbitrate, but so in terms of democracy, in terms of knowing our rights, the constitution ya 2010 ya tukonyene. Two, we have developed governments. We have counties. We didn't have counties. We had only the central government. So we have to beg the president. With the current constitution, we have a developed government where we have our counties. Now, ntubuwa the serikali county, iyo ya letire amagendero asomwana inji. So, instead kwa Nairobi nganto taketenya kitari bosongo, now you can go to the county government or to the governor himself, you request these services. So the services have come closer to the common mwananchi. That is another milestone that our constitution has brought us. Yes, among many other things. Yeah.
Asante sana. Akero tonga ndako kwa mangana ya siasa ntetene na kuirani yake ase county ya Kakamega ni county ya Mombasa awasa wocho walibogende teri kuri rero. Nina tobe tokorra na county ya Mombasa abate na ne county ebugata ba bwatanya banka bakomweko bakomusira Raila Odinga nabo county ya Kakamega ekero bono turugetu na igati ya baraya barasomo bwa Kenya Kwanza niko bakurwa ase county ya Kakamega na nene county ya Mombasa ikemina nike niko kere ase abarwanderia babere oyo abubere Abdul Somad kurwase kya makia ODM na boigo Hassan kurwase kya makia UDA na boigo Kakamega ntobwate Fernandez Barasa kurwa ODM na boigo Cleophas Malala kurwa UDA na kiorocho bochoyo boiga boekiroge kikyo bugaba na county chibere
adana munu sukurere county chibere chabere chikoyegemea ase omurai omusike Raila Amolo Odinga. Western Kenya, yawere kwa perceived, kwa rallied behind Raila Amolo Odinga. At the same time, Mombasa, even if it is a small county, it has a very high population. Nero yawere kwa ngome yaye. Oise korigereri county ya Kakamega. With the Kenya Kwanza, ya letre omuntu kurukunga nero musike Musalia Mudavadi, ya letre omusike nere Senator Moses Masika Wetangula ya letre ama se Kenya Kwanza, monoga iganto chiko nyoreke minanekeke koveke komumono. And the young energy of Cleophas Malala, former senator. It is actually going to be a very, very tough battle between two candidates or between these two coalitions. So, Oisekori Cleophas Malala, na what support your mosque Mudavadi, your mosque Wetangula. At the same time, Fernandez Barasa, na what support your mosque Raila Amolo Odinga, a bedroom ya egose as akonyora chikura chinyingakuru. So these two people, they are going to fight tooth and nail. These are the main contenders in this election. So for me, I can say this 50-50, or rather, Raila may be having a higher chance of actually getting one governor from this county. Going to Mombasa, where we have Nasil Sharif of ODM against Omar Hassan of UDA, that is Kenya Kwanza against Azimio. Probably we expect that ODM will cut the day because it has been the strongholds of Baba. But let us not forget the fact that Kenya Kwanza has come there. With the support of Governor Mike Sonko, it may bring an impact as of governor of Mombasa. So also there it is a tight race, but let's hope the best. Let us hope that actually whoever carries the day will bring a change to either side. That is for the Azimio side and also from the other side, William Ruto. Yes.
Ambia mono ekera mono to gukorera nintaite nabona barai bachorere ba guchia guchaka kurwa bokoreri nga yo mo Kenya abwente kwerora emyake tanere busyo tutaraso aso bachori bondi
ntuna ba Kenya nto aiguri bakari bachora barai aso mwako 2022 that is the 9th of August. Yes. Ekera to aiguri bageri nto achora barai korengana buna tuatakete. The majority won, and the minority we lost. Let us hope the manifestos they will stick to them. Again, are they doing what they promised us? The manifestos, the agendas from up to down. Let us keep it as a manual. Check. So that at the end of the 4 years, before we go to another elections, we be where we expected. At least our economy improve. The education system improve now, so that employment for our youth. Also, we cater for the elderly. That is what we expect, so that we improve the economy of our country. There is something I wanted to comment about the current election today. Also, Korigaria say over I will again retase rongai. Ntobuate ekemina nekenoro because it's Korigaria siasa ya mzemoi ne familia. There is a great battle between the family of Moi and the current president-elect, Dr. William Ruto. Senator Gideon Moi was edged out as a senator. Now we are remaining only with one son of Moi, who is actually vying for that Rongai seat today, and is facing a very, very high competition from the UDA, from one Jeboy, who is known as AKA Mamba, Mbaminyo Kaneti sana. So it is very interesting. The family of Moi are very edged out. It will bring us to another level of elections in Kenya. We could have changed. Now, we could be asking, what is not happening in Kenya? Is there a change? Yes. So, Rongai never had a very high competition narrow between the junior Moi and also the UDA guy. Yes.
Ndia mono. Mwancho mulire bono na kwa igura ina mangana asiasa kero bono bochori bogendreta sense media ya Kakamega na boigo Mombasa na boigo Chibunkenye yoide ebunge ya Rongai meye county ya Nakuru ebunge ya Kitui Pokot South na boigo Kacheliba ekero bono aba na nchikurwa sense media bogendreta we soki eriko bachora abarai abo barachi ko bara ase amatukari bosyo na manga gendeta okoreka na sense moya siasa bono ekero mwancho mulire toganyete toiwe ase county ya Chibere abagavana mbarabya barachi gochorwa na barabachi gotiani waire kubwatana n'abagavana bande kurwa county chinde meronkene na isano eri okorwa obokoreri burobuya bucyase omwana 90 wekarega no to gukorera omurobere obwe Eriso Riaito nyoro no omurobere ko gochakira ritkoria Jumatatu wekari ritkoria Ijuma tinsainye wekachinsa isano nemo ekero bono to gusanga eri otwanya twakomanya nara yagende to korekana ime yense ya Kenya na ritkoria rero nigoritheria renge ritkoria siasa twabere to gutwara umugeni gaiga obereka okwanira mange korengana no bumanye bwaye igoro ya mangana age siasa igobo no mwancho murigereria nere biyabuna bakenya kweneke botero rucinga kichonsi ekero bono abose asobuya bwa matuko ari busyo wekachinga kichinda somuroberi obwe Eriso Riaito eretariane Everlyne Osero endra gutugwatia wetra Facebook Ndizi TV News Digital asensemo ya YouTube tonyoro wetra Ndizi TV News na boigo na bogo tweet wetra @Ndizi TV News wasotonyora se website ito www.ndizitv.or.ke eri otogendere gusangana ya mange kuko neri bolgere borobuya na boigo omubaso oromotere